queuing in a number of supermarkets, at least supermarkets that have not been looted by the rioters over the last few days. But what I can tell you about where I am currently, I am in the city center in Durban, and yet another building is on fire. This is the building next to the one we saw yesterday where a child was actually being thrown down to safety by her mother. Now, the building next to that is also on fire now. We've got, members of the communities, people passing by, and the police trying to, douse the flame. We don't know what caused it as yet. But earlier on, we also saw people who were trying to help clean up this town. People who live here who are also carrying brooms, helping firefighters, trying to clean this place up, and also chasing away people that still wanted to continue looting whatever was left here in this city of Durban. I'm sure you can hear the siren now just blaring. Firefighters have just arrived here at the scene to try and put out the flames, to try and avoid more chaos as clean-up operations, have slowly started getting underway here in Durban.
Nonso Maseko. Well, let's go to Johannesburg and we can speak to the BBC's Shingai Nyoka. Despite the police and the army being on the streets, have they still lost control?
Well, as you're aware, Tim, it's been more than 24 hours since about 2,500 soldiers were deployed on the streets to boost and support the police force. What we understand is that the looting does continue in some areas, but not in the same scale that we saw over the last couple of days. But there has been some concern, though, in some of those areas where people have ransacked warehouses, that there really isn't any presence of the security forces on the ground. But as we speak, the situation is heading back to normal to a certain extent. There's still debris all over the parts that were looted, all over the malls and the roads, and businesses have started to come in to assess the damage. We understand that damage could be upwards of about $1 billion, thousands of jobs lost, about 40,000 small businesses that might never reopen again because they simply didn't have the insurance. And so now people are starting to look forward, but that doesn't mean that there still isn't a potential for this to escalate again. It's still very much in flux.
How much of this is linked to the jailing of Jacob Zuma, and how much of this is linked to other factors like unemployment, inequality, shortage of COVID vaccines?
Well, in the beginning, this protest was very much around the former President Jacob Zuma, who had been jailed for 15 months. And there were calls by his supporters for not just ANC people, but his supporters to go out onto the street and voice their protests and their anger. But it quickly escalated where ordinary people, some of whom are not political at all, joined in the protests and they started looting. And so it really has moved from this political expression to criminal opportunism is what many people are saying. But there are other issues, multiple factors that have caused this to escalate in the manner that it has. You referred earlier to this, the economic problems and challenges that South Africans face. A 32% unemployment among the youth. It's almost 45 to 50% unemployment. And so that has fueled some of the tensions. But the government insists that this remains political. They have called it a result of tribal tensions. But President Cyril Ramaphosa has been heavily criticized for that. And clearly it has gone way beyond that, and the focus is no longer on former President Jacob Zuma, but on Cyril Ramaphosa and how he will handle this and bring this under control.